Hello, hello. Welcome to Tapping Tuesday. My name is Fable, and for the next hour, we are going to do EFT together. Now, EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques. I'll give a brief explanation of what and how we're going to apply that, and then we'll get right into it. If it is your first time here, welcome. If it is not your first time here, welcome back. I'm so excited to get to have this time with you throughout this day and throughout this week. So, the way that this works is well, first of all, emotional freedom techniques is also known as tapping. So, if you're new here and you're wondering what is this, that's what it is. If you still don't know what that is, that's okay. You can still participate today and understand more later. We do have a channel here on YouTube. It is EFT Universe, and we have hundreds of videos that you can go and explore and learn what EFT is exactly and how it can be useful in your life. But what we do for the next hour here live together is for you to experience what that is. There's a lot of clinical studies and published papers about how incredible this is to alleviate trauma and overwhelm and even help you to achieve peak performance. And all of that, it's really empowering to read about, but feeling it in your body is a very different kind of confidence. So that's what this hour together is for. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can participate to experience that. One, just follow along. You don't have to do anything more than that. Even if the tapping is weird for you, just watching and allowing your body to engage in the flow of the experience can be enough for you to feel something in your own body. Certainly tapping along heightens that experience quite a bit. If you would like for it to be a little bit more specific to you, we have a live chat that is going, and I do my absolute best to revisit the chat throughout the session and incorporate everything that's been suggested to the best of my ability. I may not be able to get to everything, but I will also show you that whatever we are tapping on, how you can adjust that to make it more specific to you, even if the subject that you tap on is really different than what the rest of us are tapping on. What I want to teach you here, number one, is empowerment, how to make this session for you. If what you want to tap on is a little bit too personal, feels a little too vulnerable to put out there on the internet, you can always email me and I will be able to bring it up anonymously next week. So we do this every single week, but that way you'll be able to see how to tap on it without having to feel so exposed about it. Also, you can email me with questions, with follow-ups on something that we do here. I don't tend to answer a lot of questions during this time just because I want to make sure that you have this time to experience tapping, but I absolutely am here as a resource for you outside of this hour. Also, I post a video every Friday talking about some aspect of life and applying EFT to that. Let's see, what else have I? Okay, so as we tap, hopefully you're already familiar with at least the main tapping points. I don't go over a lot of protocol here, but if you just follow along with me, that is enough for you to have an experience of what tapping is. I tend to not go through all of the tapping points very often. The reason for that is I want to be very boring. I don't want you to be caught up in something beautiful that's happening here, but then worry about, oh no, did I fall behind? Oh, everybody else is here. Oh, I got distracted. No, 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 no. You get involved with what's going on in your body. And then if you feel like, oh, I feel kind of lost, where are we? Then you follow along with me. So if I'm here the whole time and you're like, oh, I really want to tap around my eyes, perfect. Follow through on that and you tap where it feels good for you. If you feel lost, use me as a guide. Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to say hi in the chat and then we are going to get grounded and get to tapping. Hello, Judd in Florida. Good to have you here. Hi, Gregory. Hello, Marion. Tanya, hello, hello. I'm grateful you're here too. Hi, Dr. Scott. Hello, Mama Hutch. Those of you celebrate Father's Day, marvelous weekend. What is that gadget you're wearing? It's a neck support. It's something that is a little bit more fashionable than like a C collar. But my neck just needs a little bit of extra support today. So this is how it's receiving it. Hello, Zarina. Hello, Trisha. Yes, I am okay. So I have a genetic condition known as hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And very generally, very basically, what that means is my joints are more flexible and a little more vulnerable than what a normal tissue would provide. So sometimes I just have joints that really need extra support. And today my neck needs that. So at various times, you'll see me wearing different contraptions, and that's all it is. So no worries, I'm okay. Nancy, hi. Oh, you're so, I'm never boring. Thank you. I love that. Thank you so much for that. Echoing Mama Hutch. Yeah, okay. Thank you for your concern. Gregory, glad to be here. Nervous about going back to work on Thursday, first time after hip surgery. Can we tap on that? Absolutely. Yeah, I think that that's a wonderful thing to tap on. Hello, Usha. Happy to have you here. Oh, glad I'm okay. And you're very welcome for clarifying. You guys are the best. Thank you for your concern. Alrighty, I'll say that 3 times fast. I don't even remember what I said, so I can't say it 3 times fast, but I love you for that. You're great. Okie dokie. I did get one community email that I will share. Oh, and hello, Rose. Fear about war as a topic. Absolutely. And I would even say to expand on that because that's so valid. And there are a lot of fears that are being presented to us right now, right? And a lot of different opinions on those fears and a lot of different suggestions of what it means and how to or how not to engage, with that, how safe or unsafe we are. And there's not any one standard that we can really check that against. So it's really hard to be grounded in all that's happening right now in the world and the access that we have to all of these resources that are giving us all of these opinions. That mounts to a lot of input without a lot of filter, right? How do we filter that out? And how do we compare that to like regular daily life? Like, what do I alter at this stage or at whatever stage next to then what outcome? There's more questions than there are answers, even though there's a lot of input. I love that you brought that up. Thank you. And I think tapping on that is very applicable. Mama Hutch, Gold Star Mother. I too know too many sailors. Oh, so Gold Star Mother. That must mean something other than what I was saying. Because Gold Star, like on paperwork, like on an assignment means like really good. And that's what I thought you were saying. But now I'm thinking that that's probably like a military term because you mentioned, too many sailors serving around the world. So thank you for that aspect too, of just knowing other people who are involved in other ways, right? And then concerned about, oh, it means we lost our son while serving. Thank you for explaining that. I definitely did not know that definition of it. Yeah, there's a lot of aspects that are speaking up, and what do we do with that? Serena, I could reuse one of those neck things. My neck is killing me today. I found it on Amazon, so that's helpful. And Ellen, hello. Nervous about if my work contract is being renewed. That's fair. I understand that concern. And Trisha, today, what is coming up is anger. Okay, and work related. Wow, lots of stuff about work. Okay, good. Alrighty, and the community email that I got, I didn't have time to get permission, so I'll keep it anonymous, even though the person didn't necessarily ask for that. Is what do I do if there's a lot of drastic change that is necessary? Like I don't have a choice in it; it's just happening, but I don't feel like I have the resource to deal with it. If it's too much, too fast. But I don't have the energy. I don't have the grounding to feel like I'm that adaptable right now. What are my choices in that circumstance? I feel like that really kind of ties into a lot of what we're already discussing today. So that's perfect. Um, I love that you're saying hi to each other. Alrighty then. Let's get grounded. Please feel free to continue to contribute to the chat, and I'll check in on that in a little bit. So let's just take a breath and let that out. And for grounding today, I want you to notice what speed, and I do this in quotations because this is going to be very subjective to how you interpret this. What speed are you currently running at? Are you at a frantic pace? Is your mind like racing? Is your heart pumping really fast? Do you feel panicked? Do you feel anxious? Are you like poised and ready? Where is your body? Are you in a relaxed state? Are things kind of flowing gently? Where are you in that? So if we say 10 is maxed out, just really panicking, and one would be like, I'm asleep. Like, I'm barely awake right now. Where would you find yourself? And just take another breath while you're considering that. Breathe in and out. And just see that speed going through your body, whether it's like a reckless speed and it's like, oh my gosh, everything is just flying around. So we're just going to notice. And as you're noticing what speed your body's at, I want you to pay attention to the fact that you have an energetic aura. It just already exists. It's not something you have to imagine, it's there. It is how we have energy in our bodies, and we leak that energy. And that's what we call it, is our aura. And in this aura, we're just going to invite calm. We're going to invite a certain pace. And we're going to allow that to just enter into our space. And you can see it however you want. It can be like a gentle wind kind of whooshing in. It could be like a blanket that you're placing around you. It could be just a different texture of atmosphere. Whatever it is that just invites soothing, that invites calmness. And notice how this outer invitation interacts with this inner atmosphere. And notice how it starts to respond and react. Let's take another breath. And feel that slowing, that gentleness flowing through your arms and your legs, your head, your torso. And just know that this energy is here to support you and to help give you a different pace to experience just for now. Just for now. We're going to give in. We're going to lean on this other pace that we've invited into our space for now. Let's take one more breath and out. Good job. Alrighty, I'm going to check the chat. Okay. Hello, Marcy. Thank you for sharing your excellent tapping help. Oh, you're so welcome. I love being here so much. And I love you too. Thank you so much for that. Hello, Rose. I'm feeling wiped out, tired. I hear you. Alrighty. Definitely able to tap on maybe how to receive replenishment, right? That can be an important aspect to rejuvenation, is where does that even come from? right? And Zarina, so stormy today. Oh, I love storms. Feels like it's mirroring my inner turmoil. Okay, worried it will screw with my connection here. Okay. Um, hmm. I will offer to you, Zarina, that even if your internet goes out, I am still connected with you. And I am offering my energy to you, to all of you on here, regardless of what happens to your connection, regardless of when you're watching this. You have my support and my energy is with you. Okay. Even if that means the tapping is something you have to look up later, I am still here with you. Okay. Okay. So, where do we start? There's a lot of mention of work. We will do that. Connection of it outward for today. There's specific words that I'm looking for to kind of link things together because I feel like there's a root. There's a root that's similar. It's what I've got right now that I'm working on is how do I continue? But continue is not quite the right word. So I'm looking for a little bit. That was beautiful and appreciated. You're very welcome, and I mean every word. Oh, and Janice, I'm in so much pain I can't focus. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hopefully this will help, Janice. And whatever focus you do have, I hold the intention for you that it's enough. It's enough to start to have an effect to help you with that. Okay. Um, so let's see. How do I continue? How do I progress? How do I achieve? How do I move forward? How do I do? How about that? That feels good. How do I do? And what does that mean? How do I do what? Yeah, I appreciate your suggestion on that, Zarina. How do I do? And if you have more of a clarification on that, great. Plug in what that fits for you. But just how do I do this? Right? How do I do this? How do I do where I am and what comes next? And figure out, and that dovetails really fast. How do I do this? Okay. So that's the phrasing I'm going to use. If you have something more specific, please replace my words with what I say with what is more specific to you. So let's go ahead and start tapping. And remember to breathe. As I begin this tapping session, and I become very aware of everything that's on my plate right now, everything I'm thinking about, everything I'm feeling, everything that I have to deal with, everything that's me and other people. I wonder, how do I do it? How do I do it? Even though right now this feels really big, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now, as I ask, how do I do it? I don't have an answer, and that's scary. I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself, even though right now I am not in a good place. And I don't know yet what I'm going to do about it, what I can do about it. I still choose right now to deeply and completely accept myself. I'm going to move to the 9 gamut spot. This is a good spot to tap when there's big feelings. Okay. It is just in between the bones of the last 2 fingers on the hand. Okay. These big feelings, these big feelings in my body. These overwhelming feelings in my body. Oh, so many, so much. These big thoughts, these big thoughts in my head. So many, so many. Like really though, so many big thoughts. What do I do? Even though right now I don't have answers. I agree to hold space for exploration. It is okay to acknowledge this space of big energy. It's real. What I'm feeling is valid. And I feel it so much throughout my whole body. My body. These things, these things are so big. In fact, they're too big. These things are too big for my body. I can't solve these. I can't solve these inside of my body. What am I thinking? Oh my goodness. I mean, think about it. All of this stuff that I'm feeling in my body. I'm worried about war. That is enormous. I can't solve that in my body. I'm worried about safety, safety of my own self, my whole community, other people that I care for. That's big. I care for a lot. That's too big. I can't carry that all in my body. No wonder I feel weighted down. No wonder I'm so affected. I wonder, is this the only way for me to care? Are my only two choices, to either not care at all or carry every single bit of it inside of my body? Yes. No. No, 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 no. I don't know. Even if right now I haven't considered how else I could care. I give myself permission to look at other options right now. Because isn't it true that if I am over full to the point of being incapacitated, I'm no help to anybody, not myself, not to those I care for in any way. So maybe it's okay. And maybe it's most responsible, most caring and loving of me to release this. Let it be outside of my body. Release. Release. I release. I release everything that I'm shouldering, that I'm carrying, that I cannot resolve from inside of my body. Every single thing. I will do everything that I can, but I release everything that I cannot do from inside of my body. Release. Release from my body. Releasing fear. Releasing overwhelm. Releasing pain. Releasing emotion. Take a breath. I allow my body space. I allow my body room. And as I feel this space that I have now created in my body, I wonder, what can I do? I was holding insurmountable amounts of heaviness. What could I do if I was holding something else? Something supportive, something positive. as I consider what I can hold in my body, I deeply and completely accept myself. I wonder, what is it that I need? Do I need to feel peace? Do I need to feel safe? Do I need to feel loved? Do I need to feel supported? Do I need kindness? In whatever goal it is I'm focused on, what do I need to have first within myself in order to apply that forward? Isn't it true that that's how I'll get there? That that's how I can contribute? I mean, that's how all things work that move forward, right? With a car, you put in gas or electricity, and it uses that to move forward. I put food in my body, quite literally how I create energy. So, doesn't it make sense that in order to figure out what I'm trying to figure out, in order to do what I am looking to do, I need my fuel. So, what if I give myself permission? Permission to have that now. Permission for fuel. Even if my current environment doesn't provide it. Even if my source for this fuel comes from me and maybe my divine connection, but wherever it comes from, I choose to receive it. I choose to receive. Okay. All right. So I'm receiving. That's good. And I have released the weight of this. Now it's outside where it's proper places. That's good. But now what? How do I move forward? I still don't know how to do it. I still don't know how to approach my job, these problems in my body, these problems in the world. How do I do that? as I search for answers in this new space that I have now created in my environment, I wonder, how have I figured things out in the past? Even if what I'm doing now is very different and I've never figured something out like this before, what have I figured out in the past? How have I gotten clarity? Is it by speaking with someone, talking it out, making a list, writing things down? Is it by just taking action, just getting my body moving? Maybe part of why I have felt so stuck is because of how important this outcome is. And I'm putting pressure on myself to make the outcome be what I need because I'm very afraid of everything that this outcome could be. And I really want it to feel safe. I really want moving forward to feel better. But I wonder, is putting that pressure on myself really increasing my chances? Or is putting that pressure on myself just the only thing I know what to do in this circumstance? Hmm. Pressure. This pressure. This pressure that I'm putting on myself. I guess I don't really see how this pressure is beneficial. I don't think it will make a difference because I can't control this outcome. So then what do I do? What do I do? How do I figure this out? As I consider my options to feel safe in a very unsafe situation, I deeply and completely accept myself. I acknowledge this is tricky. And I acknowledge it might be a moving target to find any kind of safety. And it is unknown. I wonder, the outcome might be unknown, but what do I know? Have I asked myself that? Have I spent nearly the same amount of time looking for where I can have confidence, communicating with myself and where I am strong, what I do have going for me. Oh, oh, oh. Well, I wonder what would that do? What would it do if I spent a lot more time considering what factors I have that are positive? What if I did focus on the fact that the human body has a strong tendency to find solutions? It has a strong tendency to heal. And I have the ability to offer some support to that. Okay, that sounds positive. I can focus on that. What if I focused on what do I have the ability to communicate in my job or with others that I can communicate with right now? Whether that's securing part of what I'm already doing, creating a network for other opportunity. What if I trusted what I could speak, what I can offer? Maybe there's a resource I haven't thought of. Hmm, okay. But what about these bigger things? What about war? Ooh, what about these unstable politics that are happening? It's harder, but I know what it means for me and how grounding it can be when I just connect, when I have a moment of connection with someone else. I could do that. I can do that with those that I know I can reach to. And maybe that means different things. Maybe that means speaking to a representative who represents my area politically. Maybe it means reaching out to those that I know personally, that I can just say, hey, I'm thinking about you, I love you, care for you. Or maybe it means something else. That is something I can do. And I don't know what it's going to produce. But I can feel secure and confident that I have capabilities. And capability is powerful, maybe more powerful than I've allowed myself to consider. And maybe it's okay for me to put some of that unknown, some of that energy into that. Because as many stories that there are of the heaviness of unrest, there are stories, powerful stories of when people motivate and take action in something positive. It is powerful. And I allow myself to engage that. Engaging my power engaging my influence, choosing what energy is in my house, choosing what energy I engage as I figure out what I can do. And as I explore this place, I deeply and completely accept myself, my power, my power. Pause on tapping, take a deep breath. Now take a moment and feel where you are now. When you think about what can I do and how that felt before we started tapping on it. And if you are feeling more positive, if you're feeling more empowered, if you're feeling more calm, more grounded, more centered, if that intensity feels distanced from you, if you were yawning, crying, sighing, stretching, all of those are positive signs that you communicated with your subconscious brain and it said, I like where you're going with this. I'm going to support that. And it will continue to support that in your brain, even though you're not tapping on it anymore. Really good job. Really good job. Alrighty, I'm going to glance at the comments. We've got enough time for one more little tap. Let's see. Pain and overwhelmed. I see you. Obviously, fear about money, fear of shame, not doing a good enough job. Okay, thank you for that, Ellen. Self-kindness is love. Absolutely. It feels like you're tapping directly with me. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I'm so glad. Connecting with nature. Yep, connecting with nature is great. Yeah, nature's made it through a lot, right? Like through all of it. So many things have found a way through. And I truly believe that we can too. More energized, sleepy is good, more centered. Okay, good, 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 good. Yay. I'm so glad you found that space. Okay, so let's go ahead and just start tapping while I'm thinking. I feel like I want to offer more support to that space that we just formed. So let's dive a little bit deeper into that. As I continue to tap and look to weave together all of these new concepts that I just touched on. And I wonder, how do I really root this? How do I allow this to grow in a powerful way to really offer me support and guidance more than just this moment? This moment is great. Love this moment. But what about tomorrow, next week, the rest of this month? I still need this support. So, how do I really ground this in? As I consider how to ground in my strength, I deeply and completely accept myself. Hmm. Well, I acknowledge, first of all, I already possess it. It's already mine. I'm not having to reach for it. It's already here. How do I have it be included? Because maybe it's here, but it's like in the back corner here, tucked away in that box here. So, how do I change that? How do I make it part of my awareness, part of the process? Hmm. As I consider how to include my strengths in my process, I deeply and completely accept myself. And I wonder, oh, why is it tucked away? How did that happen? That doesn't make sense. Or did it make sense? At some point in my life, it must have made sense. It must have made sense for me to cower, for me to be quiet, for me to shrink, for me to pack away my confidence, my strength, my ability. But honey, that is not today. Mm-mm. Nope. Because you know what? I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that now. And I don't have time for it to take time. I need it. I need it now. So I give myself permission for radical acceptance. I acknowledge that everything that has brought me to this point has been me doing my best. And it has not always had a good outcome. I have things in my past that hurt, that were hard. And unpacking that typically might take a while, but I don't have that luxury right now. So I give myself permission to do it radically, to do it out of order. I give myself permission to skip needing to go through every single event that packed it away. Mm-mm. I'm taking it back right now. I'm opening the box, I'm putting it back on, placing it back inside, whether I have permission or not from anybody else. It's mine, and I reclaim it. I reclaim it. I take it now. Even if I've been told that's not how healing is done, even if there's some part of me that says, no, 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 you need to clear things out first, I'll get to that. I acknowledge that that'll be healthy. That'll be great for me to do. Absolutely. I'll get to that. But I don't have time to wait for it. So I give myself permission to just, I'm taking it back now. It's mine. It's always been mine. And I have the right to have these pieces of myself. And I'll figure out the logistics of releasing what's attached to it later. But I get the benefit of being whole now, right now. And I may not know exactly what that feels like. It may be overwhelming to all of a sudden have confidence, to have trust, to have resilience, to have all the other positive words that I know I can be. And that's okay. But I choose to have that problem, right? That is now my problem. Now my problem is just working to adjust to being whole, adjusting to having all of my power. Because that's okay. It's okay for me to do it this way. In fact, I would argue it's the most responsible way for me to do it. I need to be powerful right now. I need to have all of my pieces. So I give myself permission to just take it. It's mine. And I give myself permission to say to anything that's attached to it, anything that's holding it back, I say to it, you'll get your turn. You go. You go on the shelf. You are now on the shelf. But I need this. And I allow myself to have what I need. I allow myself to have what's already mine. And I may not have a clue what that means, but I allow myself to figure it out. I may not know what words it is yet. I allow myself to find it and have it. It's mine. Thanks. Thank you, self. And if I forget, I allow myself to have it back when I remember. This isn't a one-time thing. It's not like I get it once, and then if I don't like how I followed through on it or the try didn't work out for me, I don't lose it. It's mine. It's always been mine. And it gets to be a part of me now. And I will figure out what that means. But I'm going to figure it out with it intact. Even if it's awkward, even if it's a little uncomfortable. I've experienced awkward and I've experienced uncomfortable. Now I get to do it with things that are really positive, that are really going to make a difference for me, for me. Receiving all of myself. Receiving all of myself, period. And as I accept these new rules and I accept these new boundaries, I allow myself to try, to experience, to integrate. And my world is going to have to shift around me. It's shifting anyway. And I am making the best choice and allowing myself to shift with all of me intact. All of me. All of me. And as I receive myself, and learn what moving forward is. I deeply and completely accept myself. Pause on tapping, take a deep breath. And if you felt really affected by that, take a moment. Feel into your body. Breathe. Really be present in this moment. Good job. Alrighty, I'm going to take a second. We're at time. I'm going to take a second and see what everybody has said before I say goodbye, just in case. Okay. Yay. Alrighty. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope that you feel seen, heard. I hope you feel better than you did before we started tapping. I appreciate you being here. You make a difference when you are here. And I hope that you have a wonderful week. I hope I get to see you next week. But if not, there's always a recording and you're always with me no matter what. I love you very much. Mwah. And I'll see you next week.